Motivational pages like Valogri have been going super viral recently. This video right here, millionaire walks into the bank. They achieved over 1 million likes on this video. But how? If you search this story on Google, you will see that it's been circulating since 2015. And what Valogri and a lot of these top performing motivational pages do well is they know how to research, where to source these stories. They are not original. They are repurposing them, tweaking them into something epic, which allows them to connect with their audience at the highest level, an emotional level, through that storytelling. This video is going to break down everything, giving you the tools and the reality of doing this. There is no AI where you suddenly press a button and you have a video which is ready to get 10 million likes. That doesn't exist. We will be using AI for certain components. If you're a beginner, this is going to be super beginner friendly. But even if you're advanced, there are going to be things that you're going to be like, okay, I need to add that to my strategy. Let's jump into this right now.
Finding and shortening the story.
Chat GPT, I would say, is not the best for just creating stories out of thin air. If you give it a story or an existing topic, to actually build upon, you will get much better results. So the first thing I'm going to do is go onto Quora and I'm just going to type in motivational short story. This top one comes up. I'm going to simply type that. Obviously, the more keywords you use, depending on your niche, depending on what you want, you just need to type that. I've gone super broad to see what pops up. If you scroll down, you'll see people are just simply sharing motivational stories. Some of them short, some of them super long, some of them, very short. But let's say this one here, for example. What is the most inspiring moral story which has changed your attitude? And it was posted 6 years ago. But it looks pretty good. Something that's super important with these pages is short content isn't necessarily the best. It's difficult to tell a story in like 15, 20 seconds. And Instagram is pushing content which is a bit longer. So what I recommend doing, let's say I'm going to copy this right here. I'm going to go to this tool right here, or this website, scripttimer.com. And basically what I will do is type the script and then press calculate. And it will basically tell me this script is 240 words. And if I was to add an AI voice or something to it, it would take 1 minute and 36 seconds to go through the script. For me, this is probably a bit too long. So I'm going to actually head over to Chat GPT and turn this script into something shorter. And it's really simple. And there you go. So the Chat GPT has essentially made my script shorter. So I've taken my words from Chat GPT and put it into my script timer. And now it's around 108 words and around 44 seconds. So that's pretty perfect for me. If I wanted to make it longer, I could add to it, etc. But that's literally how simple it is. I've gone into Quora, I've taken a story, I've gone into ChatGPT and said, make it shorter, and there's my script. But I want to show you 2 other examples from the Valogri page where they source their videos so that you have unlimited stories at the click of your fingers. Let's jump into example number 2. Now, this video on Valogri page got over 20 million likes. The story of the frog. This video was not original. Obviously, their creation was, but the story, the concept is not original. Now, this video was posted in December 2023, but on Medium, popular article blogging website, there was an article posted in June 2023 with the exact same story and concept. So it's clear that Valogri were inspired by this article. Now, Medium again is a great place to find content, simply typing in keywords, but also other blogging websites. The reason I'm giving you guys insight into this is because I want you to understand that we don't need to just use ChatGPT, or we don't need to just use existing content which is out there. It's about understanding where we can take things. The next place to source ideas for your video is other social media profiles. So this video right here, 5 signs she is wife material, again did amazingly on the Valogri page. But it was actually going viral a few months before they posted it on TikTok. And you can see by the editing, it's not that good, but it did really well. So it shows us that the story, the script is great, but to take it to another level, we need to edit it, add better elements to it. And that's exactly what they did. And there is so much potential in doing things this way. You know, on TikTok, there is so much kind of low quality editing that goes viral. We can get a bunch of ideas from there, repurpose them on Instagram and go super viral. Type in your niche, type in your keywords, and you will come up with scripts or ideas for your videos, which will take you to another level. Now we're about to jump into the AI voice and some tips and tricks to take it to another level.
Generating AI voice.
A lot of these pages are using the same voice, and the ones who don't or make tweaks always perform better. The second tool that I'm about to mention, you most likely don't know and will start using. Now, the first one is 11 Labs. Everyone knows 11 Labs, but 11 Labs is a great website to generate your AI voice. Now, for the beginners or for the people who want to enhance their knowledge, here's how I would do it. So what you want to do is create an 11 Labs profile. Now, this is free. You get 10,000 credits each month. If you really want to bombard it, you'll have to pay, but 10,000 credits for free is a lot. What you want to do is then go to Voice Library. Now, here you can basically pick what voice you want to use. One of the more popular ones, which I recommend, is Marcus, but I recommend, probably spending some time thinking, if your page, you want a female voice, a male voice from, England, from America, wherever. You need to spend some time thinking about that. Once you have that, you basically need to go to the Voice Lab and just essentially use your voice. So let's say I use Marcus right here. Then what I'm going to do is where I've gone to my script timer, I'm going to simply drag that. I'm going to press copy, go here and paste. And there is my script. And obviously there are some settings that you can play with here, but they don't really do too much. What I would recommend is just generating the speech, download it, and I'll meet you at the next tool, which is super useful for anyone who wants to take their voices to another level. So the next tool is called Audacity, and this is a free tool for anyone on PC, Mac. Just simply Google Audacity and you'll be able to download it to your desktop. This is basically a program which allows you to enhance, change, play with audios. What people do is basically get their AI voice from 11 Labs, then start playing with it in here. And you can add things like echo, reverb, and different elements that just makes that tweak that makes your page slightly more unique. And there are tons of YouTube tutorials, stuff on Google. This is such an old and popular program that I'm surprised more people don't speak about. But essentially, I've got my 11 Labs voice right here. I'm going to press open and you can see already that it's kind of loaded up. Now here I can play with a bunch of different things. Let's say I want to add an effect. So I'm going to add an effect. I'm going to add the reverb. Now what reverb is basically the echo. The first option is room size. So the room size at the moment is 75. I'm going to increase that. So let's say I make it 100. Let's play it.
The owner, unsure of how to proceed, considered the suggestions.
And you can see that already adds something. And that's me making one of the smallest tweaks, that is possible. You could do so much on here. Be original, be unique, play with this. You should drop a like on this video just for this. But let's move over to the next bit, which is going to be about taking our AI voice, our script, but now editing it, adding visuals to it and taking it to another level.
Video editing.
What Valogri and these top pages do, which sets them apart from everyone else, is they edit to the script, to the story, which adds a whole new depth to their reel. Not only are people connecting with the story from an audio perspective, but the footage matches the audio, adding a whole cinematic level to it. And it's super, super important for us to do this when we're editing. There is no point us creating really good scripts, really good stories, and then having low quality content or clips which don't have any relevance. Now I've got my script into CapCut. You can literally do this with any editing tool out there. I've got my AI voice on CapCut. Now pages like Valogri, they use a lot of movie clips, a lot of content from Pinterest, places like that, which is a good tactic. But the way Instagram is moving now, Instagram is going more into original content. Accounts are getting flagged more than ever now. So for me, what I've been using is Motion Array. This video is sponsored by Motion Array, but I have been using Motion Array since 2021. I do not do sponsored videos on products which I do not use. Motion Array is a great tool and, in my opinion, a good price for what you get. As I'm editing this script, I want to add content to it which actually matches it, which is high quality, and which is going to add a whole depth to this video. So for example,
An engineer designs a world-class car.
an engineer designs a world-class car. So I'm on Motion Array right now. Motion Array has video templates, presets, motion graphics, music, sound effects, graphics. It literally has everything you need as a creator. If you are using Adobe Premiere Pro, for example, you can get presets on there for different text, different transitions. Like, it literally gives you everything. What I would do is go to footage. So let's say I've got an engineer or a car. I could type in car. And the beauty of this is that once you have Motion Array, it's all license free. So I won't get flagged on Instagram. I won't get blocked. Nothing will happen because I have the rights to this content, meaning that I can create freely without any stress. There's nothing worse than spending time on an account and it gets flagged, it gets blocked, it gets deleted, whatever happens. We're trying to future-proof our pages. As you can see here, there is so much content when I type in cars. There's 569 pages of cars. And, this is super, super high quality content. You could see here, you can play with the resolutions. I can get up to 5K plus. And it just makes the workflow so much easier. For example, if I have to go on Pinterest, YouTube, or other places to find my content, that can be tedious. Let's say I want something more specific, like engineer. So I'll type in engineer on car and see what comes up. Like, for example, this is like actually perfect for my video. So I will just simply press download. It gives me a few different options in terms of 4K, original. For the purpose of this video, I'll just do HD, and then I will open up my CapCut and I will simply drag the clip into my CapCut timeline and I will drag it out.
An engineer designs a world-class car.
And then, the next thing would be impressing the owner. So it's like rich, happy man, for example. So we're basically creating a cinematic film, and it's so important to have tools which are going to help us achieve this. The link for this will be in the description of the video. You can get $50 off the annual subscription if that's something you want to do. But honestly, it's super, super useful. And you'll see that there's also tons of music and sound effects that you can add to your videos, all here under the same platform. Now I think, actually using a handshake would probably be a very smart idea for this scene. This is the beauty of video editing and creating content, is that you can be creative. You can think outside the box. And look, now I've got my clip. I'm going to download it. I'm going to drag it into my timeline. But you see, if I was to carry on just adding these clips one by one, I would have a cinematic video that is super, super good. What you can do now on CapCut, for example, is add a filter. Valogri, a lot of these pages, they have custom filters or filters which they apply to all videos. They stand out from the rest. The same thing that we did with Audacity, with making a unique AI voice. It's the same thing that we're doing here. So if we want to go for a darker tone, we could play with a filter from here, or we could create our own. So you can go to adjustments, you can create custom adjustments, simply drag it on there, make it the whole thing, press it, play around with colors. That is always kind of that color. You just simply do it. So if I wanted to make it darker, the whole thing, increase the brightness, contrast, etc., it's all here. You simply go to captions, go to add auto captions and press generate, and it will generate, your AI script for you on CapCut. So that's super, super good. Again, making these videos, as I said earlier on in the video, gets easier and easier. So like the first few might be difficult, etc. Now you can play around with the different kind of styles they have. Maybe that one's not the one I want, so I'll change it. And the next thing I want to show you is going back to Motion Array is the sound. So now obviously we can use trending sounds, etc. But once you get to this level of editing where it's so unique, it's not necessarily going to be about using trending sounds. It can be about using sound effects. It could be about using certain music. So if I wanted a, cinematic song, you can see here, I could just type in cinematic and it will give you this audio, and you can hear that how epic that is. When we're creating audios for Instagram, one of the big things from Valogri, if you press their audios, you'll see that tons of accounts are also creating content with those audios. This takes them even more viral. So if you're able to make your own audios and people start using your audio and you get known for finding these scripts, for finding these audios, for putting everything together, you're going to go even more viral. Now, you could use audios which already exist on Instagram from other creators, but you will always be second best. Guys, there is so much potential with being able to tell a story in your reel. Using all of these elements, you will be able to create content which is going to be epic, which is going to be captivating, which is going to make you money. The deeper the connection, the better the results. So remember, guys, if you want to sign up to Motion Array, the link will be in the description of the video. But let's move over to the next thing.
Your thumbnail.
The final piece of the puzzle which makes Valogri stand out and other pages is the thumbnail. The thumbnail is where we can be more adventurous, we can be more clickbait, and here is how I would do it. So this video that we've created or partly created is about an engineer, it's about someone with a car. So we have a few different options. Now, something that Valogri does great is they use famous people to kind of incentivize click. For this, I already know that there are some films which are about, famous engineers or Formula 1 drivers. So it could be something like that. So one of the more famous ones is, I believe, the Ferrari versus Ford film, which has some super famous actors. So what I will do is go onto Google now and see what pops up. So we can see we have Christian Bale, Matt Damon, etc. So let's see if we have Christian Bale car and see if we can get some where he's in a car or buy a car. So let's say I want to use this image right here. I mean, it's really down to you guys. As long as we're able to see that it's Christian Bale, it could work. So I'm on Canva. Canva's great for this. You need to get Canva story or Canva thumbnail template up. And essentially what you want to do is just drag your clip into there. What you want to always make sure is that the centerpiece of your clip is the clickbait part, because the thumbnail, only the square part is going to appear on your feed. So you want to make sure that that is, good. Now, for example, let's say I want to use that. I would then Valogri, what they do, or other pages, is add a filter. Now, what they've done great is they have like the brown filter, then the normal filter, and they kind of cross through that. So I press edit image here. I'll go to adjust, and here we can, adjust the temperature. So exactly how they do it, then we can kind of darken it a bit, put the contrast up so we can still see Christian Bale. You essentially play around with this, but this is what sets your page apart. So I would just play around with that, and just really find a filter which works for you. If you want to do more of a blue filter, you could do that. You could play around with the colors. They do have other things. Then in terms of obviously the text, you can go for the text. So for example, let's say this text right here, which is pretty similar to what a lot of pages are using. It's called Cinzel. Then go to white, then go to effect and go to lift so it stands out. Now, of course, the text is always going to be kind of the most important element. The message of this video is like kind of think simple. Some pages put their names. If you want and your text doesn't stand out, then what you want to do is just make it a bit darker. But then essentially every time you make a video, you're going to have basically this filter, but you can see what we are creating. Look at the different kind of elements that we're adding to a video. Added a thumbnail, which is clickbait, which is high quality, which is going to get people to potentially watch it. Then when they watch the video, we've added high quality content. We've added, a really good script. We've added a story. There's just so many elements, and this is the key to success. And if you're posting on Instagram or even TikTok, but not getting enough views, definitely watch my video about Instagram settings that you need to make sure that you're using, and also different strategies for growth. If you want to sign up to Motion Array, the link will be in the description of the video. I hope this video has helped you. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you subscribe and let me know in the comments. Any questions, please let me know. My name is Alex and I'm all about growth. Let's grow.